This is another video of the typical test route from Preston Test Centre. I'm starting off at the test centre and I've just started the sat nav that will direct me around all of the test route. So I'm now going to get ready to set off. Normal checks all around, blind spot check. So there's no point going to third on this test centre road. As you can see, it's quite busy and quite narrow with all the
at the end of the road, turn left, Chain Court Way.
Sat nav's told me to turn left. Checking normal mirrors, centre left and signal.
Turn left.
So coming out of the test centre, and this is a 30 road. We know that because there's lamp posts and there's no other signs indicating any other speed limit. Usually just after you've left the test centre they will ask you to park on the left. So the instruction here would be, I'd like you to pull up on the left. So it's your normal routine of centre left mirrors, signal left. Just got to take a little bit of care here. Common mistakes are
after
people let it go a little bit
yards,
further than this,
go right on the roundabout and take the third exit
and end up in the bus stop.
Then at the end of the road, turn left.
Ignore the sat nav interrupting me there for a second. So I've parked up normally and the instruction then would be to move away when you're ready. So I'm doing the normal checks again. Line spot check, making sure of that one, and then moving off. So the sat nav's already told me to turn right at the roundabout and take the third exit. Approaching the roundabout, checking the centre right mirrors, signalling.
Go right on the roundabout and take the third exit, Nelson Way. Then, at the end of the road, turn left.
So it's already told me I'm turning left at the next junction. Common mistakes here are to go on the path that's on the roundabout. You've got to try and keep off. Centre, left mirror, left signal, leave the roundabout. And keeping the doors width away from the parked cars. So it's told me I'm turning left at the light. So centre, left mirror, signal left.
Rivers Way.
I do have a cycle lane here, so I'm going to check that left mirror again before I cross it. And I've got a little slip road going down to the left. The traffic lights are on a filter system, so I'm just going to wait for that filter arrow. And just as I leave here, we can see that line at the end of this little slip road. So I'm just going to make sure I'm going to check to my right, make sure nobody's dashing through. So I've checked to my right, I'm happy to go. Merging onto the new road, and I can see the 50 speed limit. So I'm just going to build up speed quite quickly.
Fixed camera.
I'm just going to go directly from third to fifth. There's no point using fourth gear. And I'm now doing 50 miles an hour. Common mistakes on this road are not actually getting up to speed. So if it is 50 and it is safe, try to do 50. Sign up ahead that says the road narrows on the right. So the right hand lane actually merges back into this lane. So you've got to be a bit careful here if anybody's passing you. You might need to back off a little bit, give them time to come in. Got a big sign on the left telling us we're not merging to the right, we've got our own lane, so just keep into this lane. Just as we join it, just checking your mirrors, be aware of what's around you. If anybody's trying to cut in front of you, coming in close behind. Another sign, road narrows right again. It means the far right lane merges into the next lane to me. And there's the end of dual carriageway sign and two-way traffic ahead. Still maintaining 50, it's quite clear. And I'm just keeping in the centre of my lane. Here I'm going to move to the right lane, so I'm checking centre right mirrors, Signal right and move to the right lane. That's because this lane goes straight ahead only. That lane to the left goes left only. And we've got an instruction on the sat nav
yards,
telling us to turn right.
Lodge Lane.
Expecting the lights to turn red always. So the sat nav's told me I'm going to be taking the next road to the right. It's now saying 300 yards. I can see the turning coming up. Some centre right mirrors, nice early signal, especially on a faster road. People need to know where you're going.
Turn right, Lodge Lane.
Move into the centre lane. I can see oncoming traffic, so I'm just going to go first and delay. What you've got to remember here is that oncoming traffic is coming at 50 miles an hour and not the normal 30, so you do need a bigger gap because we've got to completely cross this road. So there's quite a big gap, so I'm just moving into this road. At the moment the speed limit is the same as the road we left, 50. However, we can see a new speed limit coming up, 30 miles an hour. Straight away we can see that the road's a lot narrower. So you've just got to be careful with that position. You've just been on a faster moving road. Be careful to check your speed. Now we've got an even lower speed limit coming up. We're in a 20, so I'm just going to check that mirror, make sure there's nobody behind, and just gently let the car slow to 20 before the 20 sign. So important. Again, a common mistake there is people only slow down to 20 after the 20 sign. So remember, 20 means 20 before you get there. See a new speed limit coming up, but I can also see the cyclist. The road is quite narrow. Again, before I speed up, I'm checking my mirror. If anybody's going to overtake me, I'm not going to speed up. I'm going to let them pass me. So I'm just speeding up a little bit. Now I can see a new speed limit. The national speed limit applies. I'm going to check my mirrors, signal right, move out past the bike and accelerate. The national speed limit on this single carriageway
after 400 yards
in a car
right,
is 60 miles an hour.
Lane.
However, you will not be expected to do 60 miles an hour because it just isn't safe. So the sat nav has told me to turn right. Normal centre right mirrors signal.
Turn right.
This is quite a tight turn and it's quite a deep turn. So you've got to make sure that you turn to your own side of the road. I haven't got any gas on at all at this point. The speed limit is the same as the road we left because we haven't seen any more signs. So it's national speed limit 60 miles an hour. However, I'm only going to do about 40 miles an hour. I'm not going to use fifth gear because of the different dips and bends in the road. I am going to constantly be changing speed. It's not a very well maintained road and it's quite narrow, so 40 is plenty on this road. You can see we haven't got a brilliant view of what's going on ahead. I'm just trying to stay in the middle of the lane. So I'm just doing 40 miles an hour now, and that is sufficient for this road. Again, I'm not using fifth gear. Looking in the distance, I've got plenty of signs telling me road works. Little squirrel there. Now we're actually coming into a 40 zone. It's telling us we've got a short bend. Common problems here are people don't slow down early enough and get third gear before the bend. You don't want to be trying to get a gear while you're trying to go around that bend. Still 40 miles an hour. Checking my centre right mirror to move out from that wagon. There is a car emerging, I've just backed off a little bit. And I can see all the cars coming coming towards me, moving out for that jogger. So I'm just not accelerating yet. Now it's a bit clearer. I'm going to squeeze it a little bit, go back to 4th, up to 40. Straight away I've got another problem. So one of the reasons I'm not using 5th on this road is because I'm constantly changing speed. So the road narrows quite a bit. It is a humpback bridge. On this bridge there is enough room for 2 cars, but only just. I'm now down to 20 miles an hour. Now I've got another humpback bridge which is much narrower. It is quite a steep one. There is nobody coming. So I'm going to go over, I'm going to drop to 2nd gear. I've looked, I've made sure it's safe, and now I'm going over the middle of the bridge. Once I'm over the middle, I'm checking my mirrors again. I'm building speed back up. It's still 40 here until we pass the national speed limit sign. Again, which means 60, but we're probably only going to do about 40. So on this bit, this is where you should be doing 40. It is a straight bit of road. It's a little bit wider than the other bits. So here's where you need to demonstrate that you are aware of the speed limit and that it's not just a 30. So you do need to pick up the speed a little bit on this stretch of road. So I'm now doing about 43, 44, which again is sufficient for this road.
After 400 yards, turn right, St Greaves Lane.
So you can see how far 400 yards is. It's where the white van is. So I'm going to turn right. So I'm going to wait till the sat-nav gets to about 200 yards. And then I'm going to start centre right mirrors, signal, and start to get all that speed off. So it's important with the sat-nav that you have a look how far the junction is. Otherwise you'll end up signalling on 400 or 500 yards away, which is a little early. Turn right, it's the same speed limit because we haven't had any notification that it's changed. But again, if we look ahead, it's pointless building a lot of speed up. We've got roadworks, temporary traffic lights. I'm fully expecting that traffic light to change to red, which it just has done. So I'm just going to check my mirrors and slow right down. Wherever you see the sign when red light shows wait here, just be careful where you're waiting. It's always better to wait a little bit early. So now people oncoming have got plenty of room to pass me. The junction to my left where all the building works is going on is clear. So I've actually gone to neutral while I'm sat here, which is quite acceptable. I knew I was going to be sat here for a minute or two because of all the traffic lights. So I'm just going to wait until the traffic light changes, then I'm going to get ready to go and move off. We're going to first. I'm going to check that right mirror here just to make sure nobody's taking any chances. So again, the speed limit is 40. It doesn't matter what the limit is, it's not a target. So here I'm doing less than 20 because I haven't got a lot of room. I'm returning, I'm building up a little bit. There's a new speed limit, 30. The sign on the left, it says school 20 when lights show. The lights aren't showing. However, that doesn't mean to say I can just go round this bend at 30 miles an hour.
To 300 yards, go right on the roundabout.
If the lights were showing,
and take the second exit,
you would get to 20
road.
miles an hour. Just to demonstrate that you would take care passing a school. Coming up to a roundabout, the sat-nav's told me to turn right. Again, centre right mirrors.
Go right on the roundabout and take the second exit.
So turning right at roundabouts, remember, stay close to the island. And when you're leaving, left mirror, left signal, left curve. Plenty of signs there. Warning pedestrians, the road narrows both sides. It's narrow anyway. common mistakes here. People approach too fast and don't get time to look. I'm not going over the centre line, so that if I have to stop, I'm stopping on my own side of the road. I'm just letting the car pull up. I can see a van, but I'm there before the van, so I'm going over it. But look how slow I'm going, and I'm going over the middle of the bridge. So just remember, on humpback bridges, look before you leap and be prepared to stop. Warning of a short bend with a junction on it, so it would be no surprise if somebody was coming out of that junction. So now I'm back up to 30 miles an hour. Remember where we saw the 30? Way back just after the building works. We've also got some street lighting and there's no other signs, which means it's 30. Some common mistakes here have been people driving at 20 because they think it's a 20. If there's no 20 signs, it's not a 20. Looking in the distance.
Fixed camera.
So that's the sat-nav warning me of a fixed camera. You may not have that on the examination of the sat-nav. So I'm getting the speed down to 20 before I get there. Little speed bump, nice reminder of your new speed limit, and now it's only a 20. So I'm leaving it in second gear in this 20. It gives me more control and flexibility over the speed of the car, especially going uphill. It gets quite narrow at points with parked cars on the other side. Centre right mirror. There's no point in me risking that. I might as well just go to first gear, stay well back, and then check. Now I'm still not going to go. I've got a pedestrian here that wants to cross. The car in front's flashing me. I'm just making sure the pedestrian's not going to move. And I've just gone really slowly.
After 200 yards, turn left, Blackpool Road.
So because the car flashed me then, I was all right to go, because I was pretty sure and confident that it was me they were flashing. So if somebody flashes you, make sure you know it's you they mean. So the sat-nav's told me to turn left, centre, left mirrors, signal. Lights are still on green. Back up to a 30 mile an hour zone. Mistakes for learners on tests are they wait until they get to things before they react. If you react when you see them, you'll actually do less. You'll do less braking, less gear changing, and you'll generally not overreact. The bus is still signalling left, so I'm going to pass the bus. He's signalling right now, but I've already moved out. So I'm not going to panic. I'm going to check the bus is there in my left mirror and move back. So the highway code tells us that we should let buses move off if it's safe to do so. The absolute clear phrase there is if it's safe to do so. So I'm just sort of blocking both lanes here. I don't want to change lanes completely. I'm not turning right, but I want to give the cars
after 300 yards, turn right.
It's much safer for me to be in this position. Left mirror check and return, rather than try and sneak past the parked cars and maybe allow somebody to try and overtake me. It's telling me to turn right, so I'm checking centre right mirrors, signalling right and changing lanes.
Turn right.
The car in front has done the correct thing. He's sat on the yellow box junction waiting to turn right. He's allowed to do that because his exit is clear and he's only stopped from turning by oncoming traffic. So now when the lights change, he should clear the junction. And there he goes. So you've got a few things at this junction. First of all, you've got a filter light. If the filter light comes on, as I go to the middle ready to turn, I am going. If the filter light goes out before I get to this on approach, I would wait in the middle. The filter light is still on, so I'm going to turn. The filter light only went out as I started to turn, so I've got to complete that turn. Again, box junctions, you can wait on a box junction to turn right when waiting for oncoming traffic. Again, common mistakes there are people that don't go into the junction because they're bothered about sitting and waiting on a box junction.
After 300 yards, turn right, Powys Road.
So again, the sat-nav's telling me to turn right in 300 yards. This is a little bit of a difficult one because you've got two turn-ins close together. So you've got to try and look at the sat-nav and see where it's telling you to turn. It's actually, the green line is going after the first black line, which means it's the second turn-in. So I've just got to time my mirrors and signals carefully here. And I'm turning into that street with all the Victorian terraces there.
Turn right.
Again, I'm turning
Powys
really
Road.
slowly to my own side of the road. There are always parked cars on the left here. I want to know whether I have to wait just there or I can carry on going through. Real common mistakes on this road are meeting traffic. So at the moment, I can see a car coming towards me, so I'm just going to pause, but I'm pausing very early. There's no point me getting into difficulties with the blue car. Right mirror check and move out. So all the time I'm looking for little escape routes on the left where I might be able to squeeze my car in a little bit to allow oncoming traffic to come through. Again, if you look right round the bend, you'll have a good idea that it's clear. Now it's clear, so I'm going to get up to 20 miles an hour. And remember, it's not a target. So to be honest, if this road was 30, you wouldn't get over 20. So at the moment I have no problems because there's no oncoming traffic. Now I've got oncoming traffic. I'm trying to work out what he's going to do. So I'm going to slow right down and I'm going to pause. Look at the gap I've got between me and the black car, and I've not come right into the curb so it looks like I'm parking. I've stayed in the overtaking position. I'm checking my right mirror and I hardly need to do anything about the black car. Again, common mistakes when meeting traffic are people getting too close to the car they're trying to overtake and coming right into the curb, which may look like you're parking your car.
At the end of the road, turn right, Water Lane, then turn left.
So it's telling me to turn right and left. I'm actually going left over there past McDonald's, but I've got to turn right across this bypass first.
Turn right,
So
then
mirrors and
turn
signals.
left.
This is a dual carriageway. So I've got traffic coming from a right in 2 lanes, separated by a central reservation, and traffic coming from a left in 2 lanes. We can treat this as 2 separate roads. So when it clears from the right, I'm going to move and just pause my car in the central lane where the bollard is on my right here. If it was clear all the way across at this point, I would go all the way across. However, it's not. So I'm just going to pause in the middle and I'm going to look for traffic coming from my left. I've got to make sure it's clear in both lanes. It's clear, so I'm going directly into the left lane and then I'm going to turn left. Centre left mirrors, especially across the
Turn
cycle
left,
lane.
Headers Way, then go right on the roundabout and take the second exit, Navigation Way.
Other common mistakes when setting off at this traffic light are people not looking to the right into this junction to make sure they can cross the line that's on the floor in front of them. You may have stragglers like cyclists, people that are jumping lights, etc. You've just got to look before you go. Just set off, making sure there's nobody there, and there isn't. The sat-nav is telling me to turn right.
Go right on the roundabout
Centre,
and take the second
right
exit,
mirrors.
Navigation way.
Common
then
mistakes
turn
here.
Right.
People don't move into this right turn lane, or they try to go when traffic is coming from the right. Even traffic coming from the right here, some of it does not signal. So you've just got to make sure that there's nobody there. Again, staying to the island. Ready to come off. Left mirror, left signal, left curb. Then the sat-nav told me to turn right. Centre right mirrors. Other common
Turn
mistakes
right,
here are people
chain
not
call
moving
away,
into
then
this lane
turn
to turn
left.
right. And going on the lines as you turn into this road. No point using third gear. I'm approaching a tight left bend. So even though the sat-nav said turn left, it's indicating that there's a bend and not a junction. Straight up to 30. It's a 30 because there's street lamps and no signs. So this would be the last 2 minutes of your driving test. Providing
After 200
you did
yards,
nothing daft,
turn left,
you
chain
would be
call
passing.
road, then turn around when possible.
Common mistakes here are people signalling too early. I'm just going to check that mirror.
Turn left,
Then that signal
turn
comes on.
around when possible. Turn around when possible.
So you can ignore the sat-nav now. This would be you coming back to the test centre, and hopefully if you need to do a reverse, you do a successful reverse, and that would be the end of your test. I hope you found this useful. Thank you and good luck.